Most of the time, the quickest move is 10 frames. Most of the time, if an attack is fast, it does little damage. Most of the time, if a move is powerful in the two-dimensional space, you can get around it with sidestepping. Most of the time, Yoshimitsu has something that breaks those rules. Yoshimitsu has a ton of unique moves, but today, let's talk about this one. To the untrained eye, it does look pretty dull. Yoshimitsu does a little animation, and then nothing happens. To a Yoshimitsu specialist though, this move is a limit break. Landing this move puts the opponent into a crumple state, which Yoshimitsu can capitalize on and do a combo for insane damage. There are a few variants when it comes to Yoshimitsu's flash. The first and quickest is Sword Stance Flash. Using 1+4, Yoshimitsu will do a 6-frame startup flash. This has the shortest range of the flashes. Second, Yoshimitsu can do a Kara flash with 4 than 1. This is 1 frame slower, coming in at 7 frames, yet it has slightly more range than the first one. Then we have No Sword Flash, which has much more range than the first two, yet comes out at frame 8. Then you can also do a Kara flash with No Sword Stance, coming out at frame 9, giving Yoshimitsu the most range of his flashes. Flash can also be done in a crouching state when you do it from No Sword Stance. But even with the swordless flash, it can be kinda hard to land. So how do we use it? Well, sometimes, actually most of the time, it's for frame traps, and other times it's to interrupt strings. Setting up your frame traps can be done in a variety of ways, but a true tried classic is to press something that makes you ever so slightly negative, then flash to catch them when they think they're safe to strike. Throw in a whole bunch of delays for mind games, and then if you do this once or twice a match, your opponent will quickly become scared to press a button after you do anything. Another way is to flash in between your opponent's strings. A lot of the time, the only thing you can do when being bombarded with a string type attack is guard, backdash, sidestep, or sometimes duck. Rarely do you have the option of interrupting mid-string. Normally that's because the quickest move you have is 10 frames. Yoshimitsu's sword flash is 6 frames. That's 4 more frames to work with. Unfortunately, this is a lot of trial and error to work out what you can flash in between. But by God, when you see a Yoshimitsu specialist flash Horang strings, it does bring a tear to the eye. Most of the time, you'll be pushed too far away to punish something with a flash, but if you find your back to a wall, you may be able to flash a lot more moves than you normally would. Lastly, you do have soul reads. Yes, there are better ways to launch. There are definitely other counter-hitting tools, but nothing tilts people into oblivion like a raw flash from a Yoshimitsu player. The next time you get interrupted by the Space Ninja's special flash attack, just remember, at least it's iconic.